It was the spring of 2017, and my husband and I were getting ready to celebrate our 40th anniversary. Except he died 3 weeks before we hit that milestone. He died on April 1st, April Fool's Day. Surprise, you think you're going to hit 40 years and you fall 3 weeks short. And I came to realize that sometimes a silver lining is in your own perspective. He owned a small hair salon, and he had a loyal clientele that came and sat in his chair every 5 or 6 weeks, some of them for over 30 or 40 years. And it wasn't until the visitation at the funeral home that I realized what they had lost. They lost a friend, a confidant, someone that they could talk about the ups and downs of their daily lives with, a therapist. Except unlike a therapist, when they left, they not only felt better, but they looked better. And as they would tell me their stories, sometimes they would break down, and I would end up comforting them. But it was okay, because it helped me get through the day, and it helped me to see little pieces of his life that I didn't always get a chance to see. Because then you're going to start to go through the stages that everyone who experiences any kind of loss goes through. And they talk about the stages of grief, anger and acceptance and denial and all of that stuff. Well, that wasn't really the case for me. The stages for me started with the paperwork stage, where you're filling out forms for the funeral home and insurances and change of beneficiaries at work, and then all of the other things that trickle in over the subsequent days and weeks and months. And you're doing this while you're kind of in a fog, as if you fell asleep on a train and missed your stop, and now you're awake and trying to get your bearings and get back on course. The next stage was not too bad of a stage, the sympathy dinner stage. People don't always know what to say, they don't know what to do, so they want to take you out to dinner, which is just people trying to be kind, and as it turned out, I didn't pay for a meal in a restaurant for about 3.5 months. The next stage is the anniversary of everything stage. The 1-year cycle where you have to experience alone all the things you used to experience together. And for me, they were all pretty condensed, because he died on April 1st, and then a couple weeks later was my birthday, and then it was our anniversary, and then in May was his birthday, and then in June was our wedding anniversary. So the thing you need to understand about gay couples that get married is a lot of times we end up with 2 anniversaries, because the first one you have to pick, and it's the first date or when you met, and then when you get married, if you get married on a different date than that, then now you have a second anniversary to remember. The next stage after that was the twice as much stage, where you realize you have twice as much room in a 2-car garage with 1 car. You have twice as much room in a king-size bed, sleeping alone. But you have 50% less laundry. So it takes me less time to do the laundry, and I can sleep on one side of that king-size bed for a week, and then move over to the clean side and sleep on that side for a week, so I only have to wash the sheets every 2 weeks. That's something. There's that. And then you have the stage where your friends start chiming in to remind you that you're still young, you can get out there, date, meet people. Isn't that fucking lovely? 60 years old and single for the first time since I was 20. If you're doing the math in your head, that was 1977. What could have changed? But eventually, before I get there though, I really have to get a sense of who I am as first person singular after a lifetime of being first person plural. And 40 years, I mean, what do I have to complain about? Not a lot of people get that. I got it. So I could look at what life took away from me, or I could look at what life gave to me. And I chose the latter. And lo and behold, against the odds, I did fall in love again. A couple years later, I met a wonderful guy, and now I get to experience a feeling that I haven't felt in 40 years, which is the magic in a new relationship. Sometimes the silver lining is in your perspective. Thank you.